where we explore coins, their history, and the fascinating values they hold in today's market. In this video, we are going to dive into the Jefferson 2011 5-cent nickel coin. At first glance, this may look like an ordinary modern nickel that you might pass along in your everyday change. But there's more to it than meets the eye. The Jefferson nickel has a long legacy, and the 2011 issue has its own interesting story, value, and collectible worth in today's coin market. Let's begin with a little background history. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. It has since become one of the longest-running coin series in United States history. The coin honors Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. For decades, Jefferson's portrait has graced the obverse side of the coin. On the reverse side, we see his famous home, Monticello, which is located in Virginia and is a national landmark. This design has become iconic and instantly recognizable to collectors and the general public alike. Now, fast forward to the year 2011. The Jefferson nickel of this year continued with the modernized design that was introduced in 2006. The obverse side shows a forward-facing portrait of Jefferson, designed by sculptor Jamie Franke. It is a bold and modern take on the Founding Fathers' image compared to the earlier side profile design. Along the rim, you will see the inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the year 2011. On the reverse side, Monticello is still beautifully displayed with the words "E pluribus unum," United States of America, and 5 cents. Now let's talk about minting details. The 2011 Jefferson nickels were struck at two primary mints, Philadelphia and Denver, with the mint marks P and D respectively. In addition to these, proof versions were also struck at the San Francisco Mint, bearing the S mint mark. The mintages for 2011 were quite high, which means many of these coins are still available in circulation today. Philadelphia produced over 431 million nickels, and Denver produced over 490 million. The San Francisco Mint, however, produced a much smaller number of proof coins intended only for collectors, with a mintage of just under 1.4 million with numbers this high. You may wonder, does a 2011 Jefferson nickel really have any value beyond face value? The answer is yes, but the value depends on condition, rarity of the strike, and whether it has any unique errors or varieties. In circulated condition, most 2011 nickels are worth only their face value of 5 cents. However, in uncirculated condition or higher grades, they can be worth significantly more. Let's break down the values. For the regular strike, 2011 P and 2011 D Jefferson nickels, if you find them in mint state condition graded MS65, they can be worth around $1 to $3. At MS66, the price increases, often ranging from $5 to $10 depending on demand. At MS67, which is considered a very high grade for modern nickels, prices can jump into the $20 to $50 range. Coins in superb gem condition above MS67 are rare and can sell for much higher amounts at auction, sometimes in the hundreds of dollars if the coin is certified by grading services like PCGS or NGC. Now, for the proof coin struck at the San Francisco Mint, the value is also attractive. A standard 2011 S-proof nickel usually sells for around $2 to $5, but in perfect PR70 deep cameo condition, they can bring in around $20 to $40 or more. These proof coins were never released into circulation, so they often appear in pristine condition, which appeals to collectors building proof sets. Another aspect that makes the 2011 Jefferson nickel potentially valuable is errors and varieties. Error coins are always exciting because they can be worth far more than regular issues. Collectors look for things like off-center strikes, double dies, die cracks, and missing elements. While not extremely common, error coins from the 2011 Jefferson nickel series do exist, and depending on the severity and uniqueness of the error, they can fetch anywhere from a few dollars to several $100s. Why do collectors care so much about a modern nickel like the 2011 issue? The answer lies in the story, the design, and the challenge of collecting high-grade coins. Modern nickels may not seem special, But finding one in flawless condition directly from circulation is incredibly tough because most coins get scratched and worn almost immediately. Collectors who aim to complete sets by year and mint mark are always on the hunt for these perfect examples. Additionally, proof coins appeal to those who enjoy the beauty of mirror-like finishes and sharp details. Now let's consider the current market. In 2025, the market for modern Jefferson nickels remains steady. While most circulated 2011 nickels are still only worth 5 cents, the collector market for high-grade certified coins is strong. Online auctions, coin shows, and dealer inventories continue to show demand for these coins, especially in grades MS67 and above. If you happen to have a proof version in its original mint packaging, that also holds solid value among collectors who are building complete proof sets. In conclusion, while the Jefferson 2011 5-cent nickel may not make you rich if you find in your pocket change, it still holds a place in American coin history and can be worth much more than face value in the right condition. High-grade coins, proofs, and rare air varieties can command impressive premiums, making this coin worth checking carefully before spending. So the next time you come across a 2011 Jefferson nickel, take a closer look. You never know if you might be holding onto a coin that's worth far more than just 5 cents. Thank you for watching today's video on the Jefferson 2011 5-cent nickel. If you enjoyed learning about this coin and its history, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our future uploads. We'll continue to bring you fascinating stories and values of coins that could be hiding in your change right now. Today we are talking about the Jefferson 5-cent nickel from the year 2020, a coin that many people see every single day in their pocket change. But what most collectors and coin hunters do not realize is that the Jefferson 2020 nickel can actually have more value than its face value of 5 cents, and in certain conditions it could be worth a lot more money. So let us dive into the history, the design, and the current market value of this interesting coin. The Jefferson nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, and it has remained in circulation ever since, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in United States history. The front side of the nickel, known as the obverse, features a portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States and the author of the Declaration of Independence. This design was modernized in 2006 and has been used ever since with a forward-facing image of Jefferson that gives a strong and bold look. The reverse side of the coin features Monticello, which was Jefferson's home in Virginia, a beautiful piece of architecture and an important symbol of American history. Now, let us talk about the year 2020 itself. The United States Mint produced Jefferson nickels in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia mint coins carry no mint mark. The Denver coins carry a small D mint mark on the right side of the coin near Jefferson's portrait. And the San Francisco mint coins carry the S mint mark. San Francisco coins are usually special proof coins made for collectors and not intended for regular circulation. When we look at the mintage numbers, there were hundreds of millions of 2020 nickels struck at both Philadelphia and Denver, which means most of the coins that you see in your change are common. However, just because a coin is common does not mean it has no value. Collectors pay close attention to condition, quality, and errors, and that is where the value of the 2020 Jefferson nickel really starts to increase. Condition is the most important factor. If you find a 2020 nickel that is in circulation, it is usually worn down and will be worth only face value. But if you find one in uncirculated condition, also called mint state, then the value can go up. For example, a coin graded mint state 65 or higher by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC can be worth a few dollars in coins. In ultra-high grades, such as mint state 67 or 68, can sell for tens or even hundreds of dollars at auction simply because they are so hard to find without marks or scratches. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint are another story. These coins are specially struck with mirror-like surfaces and sharp details. They were sold directly to collectors in 2020 in proof sets. So if you have one of these, they usually sell for a few dollars each. But high-grade deep cameo proofs can sometimes bring even more, depending on the demand. Now, the most exciting part of collecting Jefferson nickels from 2020 is the possibility of finding errors or varieties. Error coins are coins that were struck with mistakes at the mint, and these can be worth big money. Collectors are always on the lookout for double dies, off center strikes, die cracks, or coins struck on the wrong planchet. for example, a double die error, where the lettering or the details of Jefferson's face appear doubled, can make a coin worth anywhere from $50 to several $100s, depending on how strong. The doubling is off-center strikes, where the design is not properly centered, can also bring high premiums, especially if a large portion of the design is missing. Some 2020 nickels also have die chips, which look like small extra bumps or raised metal on the coin, while minor die chips may only add a small premium. Larger and more dramatic die breaks can make the coin much more collectible. There are also examples of coins with missing steps on Monticello on the reverse side. Collectors call these the full steps designation when a nickel shows complete clear steps on Monticello. It means the coin was very sharply struck. Full steps nickels are much scarcer, and in high grade these coins can be worth significant money, sometimes hundreds of dollars for a single coin. Let us now talk about the current market value today. In average circulated condition, the 2020 Jefferson nickel is worth only 5 cents, but in uncirculated condition prices range from about $1 to $5 depending on the grade. If you have a coin graded mint state 67, it could sell for $50 to $100 or more, especially if it has full steps designation. Proof coins from San Francisco are usually worth about $3 to $5 each, but in the highest grades with deep cameo contrast, they could be worth $20 or more. And of course, error coins can sell for much higher. Some rare error examples have sold for hundreds of dollars at major auctions. So what should you do if you have a 2020 Jefferson nickel? The first step is to check the condition. If it looks shiny and fresh from the mint, hold on to it. You may want to send it for grading. If it is nearly flawless, the second step is to check for full steps on Monticello. Take a magnifying glass and carefully examine the base of the building. If the steps are sharp and complete, you can have a more valuable coin. And the third step is to look for errors. Check carefully for doubling off-center strikes or unusual marks. Those little differences can make a huge difference in value. In conclusion, the Jefferson 2020 nickel is a coin that most people pass over without thinking twice. But for coin collectors and those who know what to look for, it can be a hidden treasure in your pocket change. While most examples are worth only face value, there are certain high-grade coins, proof coins, and error coins that are worth much more money and could even sell for hundreds of dollars the next time you come across a nickel from 2020. Make sure to take a closer look, because you never know, you might just be holding onto a valuable coin without even realizing it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed learning about the Jefferson 2020 nickel and its history and value, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more coin collecting videos and updates. Drop a comment below if you have ever found a 2020 nickel with full steps or an error. I would love to hear your stories. And as always, keep checking your change, because treasures can still be found right in your pocket.